One of the biggest challenges that sales professionals face is they often move with a sense of urgency that isn't matched by their customer. Think about it. Have you ever tried to make a purchase or have expressed interest in a product or service and you didn't feel a sense of urgency from the beginning from the salesperson? You look at a product, you did some research, and you wanted to digest that information. And all of a sudden, the sales rep becomes pushy, pressing you to make a decision. How does that make you feel? What does it make you think about that company that is going on a high pressure approach? You see, the problem that salespeople have, and the reason they get labeled high pressure, is they don't create enough urgency in their sales process. We want customers to say yes. Let me be crystal clear. I'm a salesperson, thick and through. I want you to say yes to my product, service, or offering. I also want you to say yes today. But is it your fault that I want you to say yes? How do you create urgency with your customer so they can say yes in the time frame that a salesperson wants them to say yes? That problem frustrates us all. We have quotas, mortgages, bills, payroll, you name it. If you're selling something, you're selling it to make a living. And when someone says, let me think about it, when someone delays making a decision, it's frustrating to a sales professional. Let's talk about how to fix that. There's two things you can do immediately that will change your sales approach, that will help you create enough urgency that your customer will make a decision without feeling pressured or high pressured to make a decision. The number one mistake sales professionals make when they start a sales process is they wait to the very end to create urgency. It sounds something like this. If you make this decision today, I can give you this offering for free. If you make this decision today, I'll give you 20% off, but you have to make a decision today. When you get to the end of your sales approach and you say you're going to give a first call or first offer special, some incentive for your customer to make a sale today, you're trying to create urgency in that customer's mind. However, you're creating it at the end. So now it comes across pushy. How do you fix that? Point blank, it's super simple. You create urgency from the very first interaction. If your first interaction with your customer is an email, a banner, a social media post, something along those lines, you tell them, hey, I'm looking for people who are trying to make a decision today. You say something along the lines, if you find something you agree upon today, we do create an offer that you can take advantage of at the end. It's a limited time offer. You do whatever you have to do to create urgency to make a decision immediately, but it starts in the beginning. Mr. Prospect, I appreciate you taking the time today. Just so we're clear, my goal and objective today is to make sure you're comfortable to make a decision with whatever we're offering at the end of the day. And in order to do that, I'm going to give you some incentives that'll kind of help motivate you to make that decision today. And then I move on with my fact finding, my qualifying, my finding the pain, whatever scenario, whatever modality you follow, you move along in your sales process. But you set the agenda and the expectation that you're going to ask them to make a decision today. By setting it in the beginning, you've already cleared the table. You've already allowed this customer to digest that you are going to ask them to make a decision at the end. And let's be honest here, guys. We are closers. You are a salesperson. Your job is to close business, point blank. Your very first close takes place by simply telling you, I'm going to close you at the end. Get to the end and say, I need you to make a decision today. You haven't had the opportunity to uncover any objections that your prospect may feel. You see, in that same scenario, if I go to my prospect and I say, look, we're going to spend some time today. I'm going to give you an opportunity to make an investment to join my company or join my offer or join my product. I'm going to give you some incentives to make that decision today. But at the end, if you don't feel comfortable, I don't want you to make a decision. If I have a talk trick similar to that, and my prospect says, whoa, Anthony, I like what you're saying, but I'm not here to make a decision today. I just found out the number one objection I'm going to have to overcome over the next 20, 30, 45 minutes, however long my sales appointment is. I know this prospect's not ready to make a decision, and now I can tailor my approach to uncover the real reason why. That's the first solution. The second solution to eliminate the delay of customers making a decision, right, to help increase the urgency from your customers, is give a smaller barrier to entry. Have you ever noticed some of the best online marketers, some of the best salespeople or best organizations in the world? Many of them have a small barrier to entry. A free call, a free offering, a lower price product, a 14-day, 30-day money back guarantee, something that takes that pressure off, that you can get started with my product or service or offering today for a 10% deposit payment. Or you can place your deposit today, use the product, you don't like it, call me, I'll pick it up. Whatever that offering is, that's a small barrier to enter your product or service, that also helps customers make a decision today. Now, just because you present that you're going to ask them to make a decision in the beginning of your sales appointment, and just because you present or have an option that's a low barrier, low price point to enter your product, service, or company, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to say yes, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the most revenue out of that sales appointment. That problem is for a whole new blog. It's how do you maximize your customer? How do you maximize revenue on your prospect once they've said yes? And in order to do that, you have to have a well-crafted, thought-out, detailed offer structure that you know what the next card in the deck will be once someone says yes. And if you need help crafting that, do me a favor, reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you. That's what I got for you guys today. Now, I got to be honest with you. I, for the first time in nearly a year, have opened up my appointment books, and I'm accepting calls or potential clients to conduct a discovery call with me. We sit down for 30 or 45 minutes. We try to identify if it would be a good fit for us to work together. I only have a limited room on my schedule, and I only have a capacity for a small amount of clients. So if you're interested in working with me, click the link in the blog below, get on my calendar. I'd love to talk with you. Subscribe to the blog, comment, like. I'll see you next week. Thank you.